What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Letsi Letsolo. You're watching Crime and Reason, and today I'm reacting to a video from the channel Valuetainment, and it's titled "Pissed Off the Wrong People Who Taught Diddy Everything He Knows." Right? I mean, we all know by now that Diddy's found himself in all sorts of trouble. He's currently in court facing all types of charges. Quite frankly, I believe it's not looking good for Diddy. I believe he's going to be going to jail for a very long time. I know they say innocent until proven guilty, but in some cases, I don't think that applies. So I'm curious to see what Valuetainment and Patrick Bet-David have got to say about the situation. And with that said, without any further ado, let's do what we have to do. Whoa.
Some very strange things are going on with Diddy's case. Let me explain to you why. Think about what happened with Ghislaine Maxwell. Who was the lead prosecutor? The same person that when Epstein was being held accountable was the same lead prosecutor that is now with Diddy. This person's been the lead prosecutor for all three of them. What do you think is going to happen with Diddy? Is Diddy going to be O.J. Simpson 2.0? You know, he's going to go free and nothing's going to happen to him? Slap on it. However, we couldn't find anything so far when we're looking at the case with Cassie Ventura. What do we know? We know the fact that he hit her. We've seen the videos. We know the fact that the freak-offs were taking place, that he was hiring people from Craigslist, that he was paying them $1,500 to $6,000, depending on how well of a job they were doing per.
I won't lie to you guys, people. I'm not a fighter, you know, I'm more of a lover. But if I was a hotel guest in that situation with the Cassie and P. Diddy thing in the hotel corridors and stuff like that, I won't lie to you. If I was walking past them, I would have knocked Diddy out. No, I said it. I said it. I would have knocked Diddy out. I mean, like I say, I'm not a fighter. And I would have been able to just sort of tell myself, look, I'll accept the consequences. Because I believe Diddy is not the type of guy who will fight against guys. I think he takes out his frustrations on women and guys he thinks he can take advantage of. I would have knocked Diddy out. Look, as long as Diddy leaves his demons and his spirits away and it's just me and him and no bodyguards, I think I could take Diddy out, man. And I think I'm not the only person that feels that, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm tired of this guy, dog. I'm tired of this guy.
Foreman with her, she would have to do some really nasty things, drink, urine, all these weird things that they have in the documentation. He would put a mask on, so when the Craigslist person would show up, they didn't know who he was. She would put a wig on. His nickname was Frank Black, and her nickname was Jackie Star. All this stuff we know already. But then you see text messages. I can't wait for the next freak off. I can't wait to have your child. I can't live my life without you. Is this leading to this guy being innocent? All of this stuff we got going on here right now. Or maybe he pissed off the wrong person. Maybe he had this incredible protection from the top from some very, very powerful people that maybe he offended. Who knows? All of a sudden like this happens. We're going to talk about that today.
Okay, Valuetainment. Okay.
If you value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you want all these notes, stick around till the very end. I'm going to show you how to get them. All right, so let's get right into it. Check this out. This guy Diddy, when you look at his net worth, 2022, he's a billionaire. Oh, we hear it, we see it all over the place. Today, net worth roughly $300 million, $400 million. His net worth, if you look at it, was a lot of spirits. 70% was spirits, $700 million. 50 million was private investments. Then you see 75 million cash, 100 million real estate and collectibles, 75 million catalog and intellectual property. Go to it right now. Only $150 million is spirits. He lost $550 million there. Cash is lower and a bunch of other things are lower there. So what happened during that time when you think about his net worth? By the way, when you compare him to some other people net worth-wise with Jay-Z, Dre, Diddy, and Kanye, this is what it looks like. Blue is Dre, orange is Jay-Z, green is Diddy, and purple is Kanye. Look what happened here. So Jay-Z keeps climbing. In 2011, he was roughly $450. Today, he's $2.5 billion. Dre goes from where he was at $150 million at the time. He's worth roughly $980 million today. Diddy goes from $450, same place, to $1 billion, down to $300 million. And then Kanye goes from wherever he was. You look at the report today, you'll either see $300 million or $2.77 billion, depending on who's doing the audits. Forbes says $300 million. Okay, so let's go look at the Ciroc deal, what happened. So Diddy in 2007 does the Ciroc deal, which is a partnership with Diageo to revive Ciroc vodka, taking a 50-50 profit sharing role rather than the standard endorsement. As brand manager and CMO, he elevated the brand from 40,000 to over 2 million cases a year. making it a premium product. Now, keep in mind, if you don't know who Diageo is, Diageo owns everybody. Johnny Walker, Crown Royal, Smirnoff, Kettle One, Don Julio, Casamigos, Captain Morgan, Bailey Irish Cream, Guinness. They own all these companies. So Ciroc, hey, this is big. We're bringing Diddy and he's going to take it from...
It's funny how in so many scenarios, you think a company is a standalone company, and then you do a little bit of digging, and then you find out that now it's a whole conglomerate, man. One company is owned by a sister company, which is owned by a parent company. It's like, yo, it's like the rabbit hole. It's like, yo, who really owns you? Who really owns you? You know, there's a lot of people who, they're the faces of company, and you think, okay, this company belongs to this person. Come find out, nah, man, he's just a face. He's just a face. He or she is just a face. You need to do some research, yo. You need to do some research, and that's how they confuse you. That's how they confuse you, man. It's like a few companies single-handedly are running the world in their own way, man. Be it media, be it movies, be it music. It's crazy. Some of these companies need to be investigated. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not too sure if I can trust fully the Forbes reports and what they say. I mean, if they don't put in the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds in that situation, then hey, I'm a little skeptical, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it honest with the people. Let's keep it honest with the public, yo.
From 40,000 to 2 million, profitable. This is great. Let's make some money together. 2013, De Leon Tequila co-ownership. Diddy and Diageo jointly acquired De Leon Tequila, making it a deeper investment relationship. May of 2023, Diddy sues Diageo. Diddy...
You can't bite the hand that feeds you, man. Diddy got too big for his boots. How are you going to sue your mother, Eminem? How are you going to sue your father? How can you sue the people that feed you, brother? How can you sue the people who gave you a platform? There's a time and a place. I think Diddy messed up right there. I think that's what his first mistake was regarding this situation. Oh, Diddy's made many mistakes. Diddy's made many mistakes. Let's not get it twisted. But I think his fall, the beginning of his downfall, really and truly, was when he decided to sue this alcohol brand, claiming that he wants more or something like that. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not Patrick Bet-David. That's why I'm reacting to these scenarios. I don't know fully what's going on. I'm learning like everybody else in real time. All I know is that, bro, you can't go against the big dogs, dog. How did you think it was going to end? He got too big for his boots. He did not think they could bring him down. He did not think they could send the feds to his houses. He did not think this could happen to him, and I don't understand why, because it could happen to Weinstein, it could happen to Epstein. One of the Queen's children got caught up in the Epstein situation, and he's like a prince or a duke or something. If it could happen to these chaps, come on, Diddy, man. Come on, Diddy. You're an African, brother. You're an African. If it could happen to them, folks, it could happen to you easy. Who the hell did you piss off? That's the question. Who did you piss off? You know what I'm saying? Who at this alcohol brand company took it personal? You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the bottom of this, man, because we are tired of this guy. This guy, we are tired of him. We've been hearing rumbles and murmurs for years about this guy. You know what I'm saying? We've been pushing it back. We've been pushing it back because we loved his music and we loved his artists. But we can't take it no more, Diddy. And now you've got your kids involved, Diddy. You've got your kids involved. I can't take this shit no more, man. And I'm sorry to cuss. But I think if we are concerned about people who are cussing, you've got issues in your life because we've got bigger problems to solve, yo. Cussing is not in the top 10 problems we need to solve as humans right now. Please, let's focus on the real issues.
He filed a lawsuit accusing Diageo of neglecting the De Leon brand, racial discrimination, claiming they marketed it as an urban product and failed to treat him as a true business partner. Then in January 2024, they settled out of court. Diageo and Diego settled the dispute out of court. While details still remain sealed, the settlement marked the end of their business relationship. So this is from 2007 till 2024, 17 years. Could they have protected him? I don't know. Their CEO currently today is Deborah Ann Crew. She was a former intelligence...
I gotta tell you something. Sorry, man. I gotta tell you something right now. Even Patrick Bet-David in doing this video, I can assure you right now, he has to watch his words. He has to watch his words as to who he mentions and what he says about them. At the very best, I suspect he's going to put ideas in your head, in our head, the audience, but I think he's wise enough and he's been in the game long enough to know that he can't mention specific names right now. Not only because the trial is ongoing with Puff Daddy and stuff like that, but I think it's a dangerous affair to mention people, quite frankly, who are bigger than you and that could squash you like this tomorrow. They could squash you like this, bro. They could ban all your channels, all your YouTube channels. They could just make it difficult for you. So I'm curious to see how he maneuvers around such a video. I mean, he's titled it "Pissed Off the Wrong People Who Taught Diddy Everything He Knows," right? And the question is out there. He's put the question out there. Will he mention names? Will he mention names? Let's see.
Intelligence officer in the military, once intelligence officer. For they have protected him. I don't know. Their CEO currently today is Deborah Ann Crew. She was a former intelligence officer in the military, once intelligence officer. Forever you're an intelligence officer. Who knows what happened? We don't know the relationship. We're not going to make any accusations. All we know is, could this have been a protection where they were at the parties and they knew things that were taking place and are like, wait, what do you want to do to us? No problem. Boom, drop the bomb. I don't know. All I'm saying is the timing is kind of strange. Maybe even they wanted to kind of be like, look, we know what's about to be dropped on this guy. We want to have nothing to do with you. We're out. Here's some money. You stay quiet. We'll pay you, but we want to get out of here. The only thing that the timing is kind of crazy is January 2024, they settle. 2 months later, remember what we're sitting there doing and minding our own business? And you hear, March of 2024, the feds are raiding Diddy's Miami home and his LA home. For what? What are they trying to get? And you saw them pulling out all these boxes.
The feds don't come to your house for a cup of tea. I'll tell you that right now. The feds ain't coming to your house for some donuts, buddy. If the feds are at your house, brah, they've been doing research for yonks, bro. They've been doing research for a minute. They're not coming in there to hear your music. I'll tell you that right now, buddy. If the feds are coming to your house, man, oh man, they've been watching you for a second. They've been tipped off by a big boss. Let me tell you something. Puff Daddy himself. Oh man, we are in dangerous times as a people, man. Things that we knew yesterday are just not the same no more, man. Music is changing. Our artists that we love are disappointing us in every way which possible. It's a crazy affair. It's a crazy affair, man. When we heard this, man, we didn't know what to believe, man. We didn't know what to tell Jesus. Could Puff Daddy be going down? What could the feds possibly want at his house? Because essentially Puff Daddy had the whole same situation that Epstein had, where he would have famous celebs at his house and record them doing all sorts, and using that footage to sort of blackmail them. Come on, Puff Daddy. Come on, Puff Daddy. You should have known better, brother. You should have known better. Oh, you done pissed off the wrong people now. Now, you done pissed off the wrong people, buddy. He done got too big for his boots, ladies and gentlemen. He got too big for his boots. And you don't do that, bro. You don't do that. You got to stay in your place. He should know better. You can floss in our eyes, yeah. You can floss in our eyes, the normal people, you know. You can do all your dance moves and stuff like that. But hey, you done went into the wrong room and did the wrong dance move to the wrong dance person, man. Puff Daddy, sorry. It was nice to know you, buddy.
What's going on over here? Federal agents raided his Miami and LA home, seizing 90 terabytes of digital data. What are you taking? Bunch of letters he wrote? What do you think they're getting there, right? Multiple unregistered firearms, over 1,000 bottles of lubricant, allegedly linked to coerced sex events. His associate, Brandon Paul, was arrested at a Miami airport, and Diddy's jet was tracked to Antigua, though he remained in the U.S. We all remember this. This is nothing new. May of 2024, guess what footage is released? Cassie Ventura's footage. How long have you been having it, CNN? Since 2016. You haven't released it till now? No. Who made the phone call to say release it now? Who was kind of like...
It's a big shot, bruh. It's a big shot who said, okay, it's almost as if they've been waiting for this moment. Do you know what I'm saying? They said, okay, this guy needs to go down for various reasons. Either something big over here is happening and we want to distract the public, so let's use Puff Daddy as a scapegoat because, hey, he's got all these cases against him. We've got this footage, this Cassie footage. Let's distract the public from what's happening over here and let them focus on Diddy and solely on Diddy. So that's a good question, man. Who was holding on? Who was saying, no, hold on, don't release it now? You know what I'm saying? Don't release it now. Let's gather evidence and we'll release it all together to make our case so that this guy really goes down. And quite frankly, I wonder who the new Diddy is going to be. Who's going to take Diddy's role in the music industry?
We're done with this guy. You're not back. You're threatened to say this. Release the footage, right? So they released the footage. He comes out, issues an apology, while his lawyers accuse the government of leaking the tape. It was later admitted as evidence in his trial. Again, January deal. March is raiding his house, Miami and LA. May, here's a video being dropped from CNN, even though they've been sitting on it for 8 years. September 2024, book is released, Kim's Lost Words, which, by the way, there's a lot of speculation with this thing here, so whatever I'm reading you is not necessarily 100%. It is there, it is not there. The alias they use on who wrote the book is Shanti Millwood, which is an alias for Tupac, which is kind of weird. Why would you use?
By the way, right, there's allegations that Puff Daddy is behind the late Kim Porter's death, right? There's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of allegation that anybody who tries to sort of speak out against Puff Daddy in any sort of way gets quietened, gets threatened, gets beat down, and worst case scenario gets assassinated. You know what I'm saying? It's alleged. We don't have the proof, but that's what people are saying out there. So it's interesting, man.
Use that. This book appeared on Amazon, allegedly written by Kim Porter, accused Diddy of abuse, misconduct with minors. Porter's children denounced it as fake. Investigators revealed the real author was Chris Todd, who claimed he compiled the book from a mysterious flash drive.
Just for the record, let's just say it was true what Kim Porter was talking about. Speaking about his kids, what do you think P. Diddy would do to his own kids if he found out that they were saying if he found out what they were saying in his book was actually true? In her book, I beg your pardon. What do you think he would do to them? I think it would be best for the kids to side with their father because I believe he's a monster and I believe he will do whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes to stay on top. So his kids having his back, naturally, it's fine, but I'm not going to buy that story fully. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, maybe they didn't have a choice. You know what I'm saying?
Amazon removed the book a month later in October. So September last year was a rough year for him because that's when the lawsuit comes out and he's arrested and indicted on federal charges, racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, and transportation for prostitution. The indictment claimed he ran a criminal enterprise from 2008 to 2024. He pleaded not guilty and remained jailed at MDC Brooklyn, where his bail offers was up to $50 million, was rejected. Then all of a sudden, October, wave of lawsuits come out, okay? Attorney Tony Busby filed numerous lawsuits against Diddy with over 120 cases. Planned allegations span sexual abuse, drugging, coercion, often tied to industry events. Some suits implicate third parties, including Marriott International, for allegedly enabling the abuse. Like, you allowed for this to happen and you knew it was taking place. Then it comes to today, May of 2025, the trial begins. Okay, so what is he being prosecuted for? You got charges for racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, and transportation for prostitution. That's what's taking place right now. What is he not being prosecuted for that he's been allegedly accused of doing over the years? For example, sexual abuse of minors ages 9 to 17 in the 90s, 2000 civil suits. You know what happened? Likely barred by statute of limitations or lacked sufficient criminal evidence. Gone. Murder, blackmail, and surveillance claims, Kim Porter, drive leaks, highly speculative with no verified forensics or corroborating evidence. Gone. Arson, alleged car bombing of Kid Cudi's vehicles, alleged by Cassie but not supported by public documentation or prosecutable evidence. Gone. Civil allegations from 120 accusers, many told unverified and not investigated.
By the way, Tony Busby is also the lawyer that tried to sort of defend the allegations against Jay-Z. Some women had allegations against him, which were later dropped. And he's also the same lawyer who's going against Shannon Sharp in similar allegations. So he's a busy guy. He's a busy guy. He's a busy guy, this Tony Busby.
Fully, some may still be under review, but right now we only know about 4. So this is the one part that we got to be thinking about, because a lead prosecutor can determine whether your crime is going to be bigger or less, more scrutinized, and people are going to be looking at everything, or less. I mean, if you think about President Trump, right, in New York, you have the case that came out with Stormy Daniels, hush money, hey, that could have been civil. Whatever the number was, $125,000. Didn't need to be criminal. He's a convicted felon, but the guy that was a lead prosecutor was a guy named Matthew Colangelo, and guess who's the one that appointed him? DA Alvin Bragg. And who is Alvin Bragg? You think Alvin Bragg loves Trump? No, they wanted to make him a convicted felon to just kind of destroy him. In this case, is the complete opposite who the lead prosecutor is for Diddy. It used to be Damian Williams, who was the lead prosecutor until he resigned in December of 2024. Damian Williams is a pretty connected guy. He's been a lead prosecutor on a lot of different things. You ready? Epstein, you got Diddy, you got Ghislaine Maxwell, and many others. He was appointed by President Biden. He used to work, had a relations with the Soros family. So he stepped.
That's big guy. Those are big people. So I'm curious, why the hell did this prosecutor decide, nah, I'm stepping down from Diddy, bro. I can't work with this guy. What did he know that we don't, that made him step away? Because he would have made a gang of money. If you're going to be representing Puff Daddy, you're going to make a gang of cash. What made Homeboy step away from the case and say, nah, I can't do this one. This one, count me out, bruh. Count me out.
Steps away in December of 2024 for Diddy. Why would he step away? And you know who replaces him as a lead prosecutor? Maureen Comey. You know who Maureen Comey is? She is James Comey, the former director of FBI that put the 8647 on his Instagram. She is his daughter. That is now the lead prosecutor going against Diddy. Do you think Diddy's gonna end up being guilty? Who knows? We'll find out if she's gonna go after him hard or not. Now, to be fair, Damian Williams and Maureen Comey both were the prosecutors, going against Sam Bankman-Fried, and decided to kind of not look at the donations that he made. I think it was the second biggest for Democrats, and he gave a bunch of Republicans as well. He was trying to buy everybody out during that time. And this comes down to one other thing with Maureen Comey, to just kind of give her a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. She was a lead prosecutor going against Robert Hayden. Robert Hayden was a gynecologist who was accused of taking advantage of clients that were coming in. And one of them was Andrew Yang's wife, if I'm not mistaken. He was doing a lot of weird things. He went away 20 years in jail. So I don't want to put it in here and say Maureen Comey's not going to go after certain people.
If he went away for 20 years, damn, I don't think Puff Daddy should stand a chance, quite frankly. If these lawyers do their job, and I hope they do, if the prosecution does their job like I hope they do, Diddy shouldn't stand a chance, man. Diddy should not stand a chance. He's got too many allegations against him. And I think there's enough credible evidence, yo. He had the feds coming to his houses. He had the feds coming to his cribs, yo. Not one, not two. Okay, I think it was two, my bad. But more than one house. Concurrently. At the same time. Man, oh man, it's not looking good for Diddy, man.
He has. But in this case, Ghislaine, Epstein, Diddy, kind of weird. They're kind of weird. Bribery, reputation of what they did. A little weird that the same person is a lead prosecutor on those 3 different people. So this was kind of weird with Diddy, with certain patterns on certain people in his life. I had Suge Knight on. Well, around the same time while this is going on, 6, 7, 8 months ago. And he says, look, no man wakes up one day and learns how to do this kind of stuff. What do you mean no man wakes up one day? Somebody had to teach you on how to bribe and do this and hold people hostage and da-da-da-da-da. Kind of weird. And then Clive Davis's name comes up. And in Clive Davis, apparently, when you look at this in the early 70s, federal authorities started investigating whether major records, including Columbia Records, division of CBS, were directly or indirectly involved in a drug-fueled payola scheme. These were illegal arrangements where drugs or money were allegedly used to bribe radio DJs and stations to give preferential airplay to certain...
See, now we're getting into dangerous territory now. Now we're getting into dangerous territory now. Now we're getting into hot waters now. We're starting to mention names that, hey, we're starting to reach a threshold now. We're starting to reach a level. Clive Davis? Ha ha.
Certain artists. You know who was the leading guy for Columbia at the time? A guy named Clive Davis in 1973, a rising executive and then president of Columbia Records, fired by CBS in 1973. The official reason cited the misuse of...
Just for the record, Clive Davis, absolute monster. 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 If you told me now Clive Davis is demonic, I wouldn't hold you. If you told me now Clive Davis is demonic, I would not say you are lying. And Clive Davis was the one who was grooming Puff Daddy?
Company funds. He was accused of charging personal expense, including lavish bar mitzvah costs for his son, to the company. I mean, obviously that's not good, but if you look at the charts, you hear them using heroin and other drugs to bribe DJs. Even his former EA testified and gave statements that Clive Davis authorized payola practices, further damaging his reputation. So what does Clive Davis do? Starts his own company called Arista Records in 1974. Now, while he's going through, the CBS sues him to recover some of the funds. Davis was not indicted or charged with any crime, including the broader allegations on payola or drug-related misconduct. So the relationship between Clive Davis and Diddy is interesting because when Diddy's 23 years old, he's making a name for himself. Clive gave him $15 million to start Bad Boy Records. And then later on, they did even a bigger deal where Clive gave him $50 million advance on...
Why would Clive Davis give a young black man money to start a record label? What did Puff Daddy have to sacrifice to get that deal? What would Clive Davis want from Puff Daddy to get that deal done? That's the question. Why Puff Daddy? Why is he so special? What was he willing to do to get that deal from somebody I consider a monster?
Future earnings. This is 5 years later in 1998. $6 million upfront payment, $700,000 annual salary, and a state-of-the-art recording studio. We're talking about $2 million recording studio. This is when he went after Faith Evans. He got Biggie in the early 90s. This is when it started. But there's a relationship with Clive, and it's interesting because Clive later on, they say something may have happened here because Shook said Clive taught him the bad habits. And later on, Clive comes out and says the following. Yes, record mogul Clive Davis has identified as being bisexual. He publicly revealed in his memoir, this is not allegedly, he said it, the soundtrack of my life. At the age of 80, he also discussed in an interview with Katie Couric, expressing the hope that his coming out would contribute to greater understanding of bisexuality.
I saw that clip where he admitted that he wanted to try going bi for once and just see how it goes. I saw that clip, so shout out Patrick Bet David. I saw that clip with my own eyes, Clive Davis saying, hey, I'm bi now and that's just who I am now. Love me or hate me. Take me or leave me.
It's Clive Davis. And on top of that, very weird, the principal of the high school that Diddy went to school to, this is like completely crazy. In 1987, Reverend Bernard Lynch and brother Timothy Brady were accused of sexually abusing students at Mount St. Michael Academy in Bronx, New York. While this was happening, the allegations involved the molestation of 3 boys. While the timing overlaps Diddy enrollment at school, there is no public record or indication that he was among the victims, and no one knows the 3 boys' names. So Timothy Brady goes...
Oh, somebody knows the 3 boys' names. Don't get me twisted. Somebody knows the 3 boys' names. It's just not wise to publicize. I think it would be super damaging if those 3 boys' names were mentioned. But to say that nobody knows the 3 boys' names, right? That's insane. That's insane. Somebody knows. Somebody knows. Maybe we can't reach. Maybe we don't have access to it. Maybe Patrick Bet David doesn't have access to it. Oh, but somebody knows. I can assure you right now.
And gets convicted, goes to jail. He's in prison. But when he comes out, he goes back and is reassigned by Marist Brothers to a Catholic high school in Chicago, where he worked from 1993 to 2005, 12 more years after you know what he's doing to boys. I mean, this makes a lot of sense, right? And then Reverend Bernard Lynch was indicted in 98, stood trial in 89 on the abuse of former student. He was acquitted of all charges. Lynch has maintained that his prosecution was a result of a witch hunt due to his AIDS ministry and advocacy for LGBTQ rights. In 2019, Lynch faced a new civil lawsuit allegedly sexual abuse of a 16-year-old student at Mount St. Michael Academy during 1978 and
Connect the dots for me, man. This is just, you know, this is a whole lot for my brain to take right now. Patrick Bet David, connect the dots, brother. What's going on? How does Clive Davis, you know, enter the fray? What's going on? Was he part of these schools? Was he also groomed? What's going on? Connect the dots, man.
79, the lawsuit was dropped in 2021. So who knows? Some are saying maybe one of those three boys could have been Diddy, and maybe he picked up some of those habits there. Chances of that, less than 5%. But these are all very weird things that are kind of coming together. This next one here, don't let your kids listen to this next.
Is he going to mention that Puff Daddy and Clive Davis allegedly had a relationship? When Diddy first came into the game, is Patrick Bet David going to mention that Clive Davis had a sexual relationship with Puff Daddy when all of this was happening? A secret relationship. A lot of people, a lot of insiders knew about this relationship, but a lot of outsiders didn't. Remember when I said, hey, big man has to watch his words about who he mentions and what he says about them. I think he's smart enough, he's wise enough, he's been in the game long enough to know that, hey, certain people I can't mention. It's not safe. It's not safe for my career. I want to see another day. I want to live another day. I want to spend time with my family still. I got to watch my words. If I do say something, remember even when he said, hey, Clive Davis came out as bi, he's like, no, hey, he said it. Not me, he said it, which he did. But you have to be careful what you say, man. It's a dangerous world right now.
Next part. I mean, at this point, if you let your kids listen to the whole thing, you shouldn't have done it in the first place. But this next part, maybe you say earmuffs or pause, stop the video, step away, put the, you know. So this guy goes to Macy's one day, Diddy, with his crew. While he's at Macy's, the plaintiff claims that Diddy, accompanied by 3 armed bodyguards, enters the stockroom. This is 08. This isn't too long ago. This is 17 years ago. He was 38 years old at the time. Goes in the stockroom, and the plaintiff alleges that he was struck, possible pistol whipped, and threatened with death by the bodyguards. Combs then allegedly forced him to perform oral on him, referring to as echo, and making derogatory comments during the assault. Do you know what ends up happening afterwards?
Nothing.
You may never go to Macy's ever again. Okay, you ready? Aftermath, Macy's response. Following the incidents, Combs purportedly took Sean John merchandise from the stockroom and distributed it to shoppers on the sales floor. The plaintiff reported assault to Macy's security.
He was fired.
But asserts that no action was taken. He further alleges that approximately 3 weeks later, Macy's CEO Terry Lundgren pressured Echo executive to terminate his employment to safeguard a multi-million-dollar deal Macy's had with Sean John. Subsequently, he was fired and lost his company-provided housing. Like, I don't know if this is a true story or not, but it's written about all over the place.
It is.
You're not going to have a hard time finding this. If a person comes out and says, this person did this.
These guys protect each other, yo. These guys protect each other, dude. It's part of the game. You gotta protect your brothers, bro. It's a brotherhood. A brotherhood of people that do some crazy things behind closed doors, yo. Crazy things. So that doesn't surprise me one bit, man. That does not surprise me one bit. They would rather lose the employee who's telling the truth than lose another monster over here and the business finances that, you know, he could help Macy's again, you know, business deals, his purchasing power. It's sad, man. It's a sad reality. These guys protect each other, dog.
This to me, one person comes out, they're getting after somebody. 2, 3, all of these stories.
And I'm curious.
This person's got issues.
Where do Puff Daddy's kids come into play? You know what I'm saying? He says at the beginning of the video, he said something strange is happening with Puff Daddy's kids. What? I'm still waiting.
In his heart. And I'm talking about Diddy. The guy's got problems. You know, I mean, this doesn't happen accidentally. And Diddy's father was tied to the mob back in the days, working with Frank Lucas. You ever seen the movie American Gangster? Frank Lucas, the one that was selling the blue magic, I think what it was called. And they claimed that he was an FBI informant, that he was leaking information. And who knows what the hell was going on. But that's the lineage. So I don't know what's going to happen. Here's what I could tell you. If it goes with the pattern that we've seen with Ghislaine, with Epstein, with Diddy, either Diddy's going to commit suicide, either he's going to be hiding somewhere that we won't hear about for many, many years, or he's going to be O.J. Simpson and he'll be released and said, I told you I was as innocent. I told you nothing.
I hope that does not happen. I hope that does not happen, man. O.J. Simpson situation? Nah, you see, that's where people are going to lose faith in the justice system now. If Puff Daddy goes free, that's going to be the last straw for a lot of people. Like, nah, you see now. But more importantly, a lot of people who are in the industry, a lot of people who are in the music industry and the movie industry are going to keep doing what they're doing, thinking, nah, I can get away with it. We need to get big guys like Puff Daddy. Let him be the example that you cannot keep doing what you guys are doing. Please, justice system, please, prosecution, do your job. Please, jury, look at things with a fair eye. Please, this guy cannot be set free. Innocent until proven guilty, I understand the concept, but this guy needs to be behind bars, yo. He's caused havoc, and no amount of time in the court of law is going to let us know the full extent of the damage he's caused, the lives he's damaged, the people that have suffered, yo. Mace became a pastor, dog. Some of his artists are not alive anymore. May their souls rest in peace. Some of his artists have lost a lot of money or didn't even make money. Some of his artists have changed religions. And you want to tell me, Patrick Bet David, that there's a chance that Puff Daddy could be set free? Man. That'll be the day, man. That'll be the day where I don't even know what to tell Jesus, dog. That's crazy. That can't happen.
Nothing happened. I told you I was this. Or he's going to go to jail and spend the rest of his life in jail. Not likely. Because he has access to a lot of information on a lot of people that make a lot of money for people in Hollywood. Do they want those people to be gone? I don't know.
Look, bro. They might send him to jail and take him out, like they did Epstein. They might send him to jail and take him out. But Puff Daddy should be wise enough to know that he has to keep his mouth shut. Puff Daddy has to be clever and shrewd enough to know that these guys are huge. The fact that he's in the predicament that he's in, going to court, somebody or some people made that happen. Whoever has the power to keep the cassette tapes for so long, whoever has the power to say, look, send the feds to his houses, go get them tapes or whatever, get whatever you need to get, are the same people he should know how powerful they are. If he thinks he's got power, man, there's people out there that make Puff Daddy look like he ain't nothing. So I believe that guy's going to go to jail, bro. I believe he's going to go to jail. And if there's any hint of him trying to snitch, I think that the definition of snitches get stitches will be fully seen, bro. We'll know exactly what it means when we say snitches get stitches. No, not with these chaps. You see, Puff Daddy's been playing a dangerous game all his life, and he's been playing a dangerous game with dangerous people, dog. Dangerous people, demonic, monsters. You know the saying, you live by the gun, you die by the gun? Hey, if you live with demons, you die by demons. Let me tell you that right now.
With one of those guys that makes a lot of money for a lot of people is Justin Bieber, to the point that their lawyer had to respond to it and say, hey, although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, because it's always been said there's been some very strange videos that we've seen. These are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from the reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve. While this is taking place, it's pretty wild. Bieber, 15 years old, you spent a couple days with him? It's kind of weird. Looks at the Lambo. What do you think about the Lambo? Hey, we do something.
Let me tell you something about Justin Bieber, man. He's not the same Justin Bieber that we know. Something happened to Justin Bieber in the industry, whether it's spending time with Puff Daddy or other things. I think the industry has completely destroyed the young man, and he'll never be the same again, dude. And I think there's a lot of Justin Biebers out there whose stories we don't know and whose stories we will never know. It'll remain a secret, but they've gone through hell, guys and women. They've gone through hell, going through hell right now. And I'm very concerned. I'm happy for the South African singer Tyler, but I'm also concerned because she's signed to a major record label at a young age. She's not from America. She's from South Africa. She's eager to learn. She's eager to do her thing. She wants to be a star, but that's where they get you. So I don't wanna wish any bad upon Tyler, but I'm just saying I'm a bit concerned because of her age, the record label that she's signed to, how record labels work, how artists gradually start changing their ways. They become different to what we know. So I wish her all the best, but I'm gonna definitely keep a close eye on Tyler for that specific reason, man.
Some things that nobody needs to know about. It's a lot of weird things. So I don't know. I ran into him, Diddy, after I made a few videos, and we looked at each other like this for a couple minutes at a Miami Heat game. He was there with a girl, and it was an interesting exchange. He made a lot of accusations, not accusations. I've had, Greg Kading, a lot of people I've had on because I'm convinced that's my opinion. I believe he's tied to Tupac and a lot of other people. Hopefully there will be justice, okay? Hopefully there will be justice. Whatever that is, there will be justice because a lot of people were hurt by this guy here. If you want the research, here are all the notes that we have. All you have to do is download the app Manet, go to PVD Entrepreneur Circle. I'm putting a lot of these notes over there that anybody can have access to. You can go there, get registered, and you can communicate there as well. Put your opinion. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? You guys can do that. But all these notes will be there. And if you enjoyed this interview, you've never seen my conversation with Suge Knight, it's very revealing when he says this, while all this stuff is not being talked about months after he said this while he was in jail. If you've never seen that, click here to watch. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye.
Okay, guys, there you have it. We've just watched a video by Patrick Bet David on his channel, Valuetainment. Look, first and foremost, Diddy needs to go to jail. There's no two ways about it. Diddy needs to go to jail. I think the prosecution needs to do their job, I think his money, the amount of money that he has and the amount of influence that he has should not play a role. I think it will to some extent, but I think ultimately the right thing needs to be done right here. Patrick Bet David, like I suspected, he didn't really go too much into mentioning names that are up here because, like I say, he's smart enough and wise enough to know that it's dangerous to do that. He mentioned Clive Davis's name, and who was a big player in grooming Puff Daddy, I believe. He didn't mention Andre Harrell. He didn't mention a whole lot of other people. He kept it simple. So I found it a very interesting video. You guys can let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please share, please subscribe. I've been Valuetainment, and you've been watching Crime and Reason, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, have a good day, and stay safe out there. Salute.